Hi friends, I hope all of you are doing good. After a long time, I'm speaking on a topic pertaining to banking and finance. And this is not just banking and finance, it is also about scams. Those who have been following all my videos know that I have done several videos on scams, various types of scams. And this in today's topic also I am going to speak about one of such scams, and this affects banking in some way. And when I speak of banking, I am speaking about international trade. So guys, all of you have heard about email hacking scams. This has affected some of us in some ways, but the worst affected amongst all these are the importers. So what happens, guys, nowadays a lot of transactions happen online, a lot of dealings, trade happen online, and we communicate with each other online. Sometimes we communicate with people whom we have not even met, and this happens in international trade also. People get connected to other contacts for trade and other dealings, and then they start communicating on digital platforms like email and all other communication platforms. So what happens is, even if the intention of the seller is good and both the parties are genuine, after having done the thorough check in all aspects and then finally taking up that particular deal or transaction, it happens that some email hacker comes along and everything goes for a toss. So what happens is, a deal is done. So earlier those purchase orders, invoices, pro forma invoices used to be actually shared in earlier days and then signed off and accepted and sent off. But nowadays a lot of invoices flow through email, or some even use other modes, but email is better to use email, which is more authentic than other modes. So till some time also this was working well, but nowadays with so many digital avenues opening up, hackers are also having a field day. So what happens in cases, in case a hacker comes across an account of an importer and goes through the emails and finds out this, or especially intentionally if they target an importer, so how they go about this is, like, they see the invoice has already gone from the seller to the importer. So I am talking from the Indian perspective and Indian laws, and since I am based in India, so I will speak from the Indian perspective, assuming that the importer is an Indian and the seller is sitting abroad. So the invoice comes via email. After all the other formalities have taken place, all the deals, other things have happened on phone, they have known each other through some chat or chat, but some Zoom call or something, and the invoice is also shared. So what happens is, an email hacker comes across this communication in purposefully or through other hacking methods. So what they do is, they target these importers, hack the account of the seller. Once they are into the email box of the importer, they know, okay, such and such deal is going about and this mail has come from so and so person. So they know now which email to hack. They have their own modes, they have their own techniques to hack accounts, and then what they do is that they replace this invoice. They send another mail from the from the sender's account. Sometimes the @ something might be different, which the importer might not notice, or sometimes they might actually hack the account. There are ways of changing that @ extension also. And so the importer receives a revised invoice saying that the banking details have now changed. So since so much communication has already happened, so the importer tends to believe that maybe the banking details have changed, and then accordingly when that payment is being sent, that same invoice they submit to the bank, and the bank then accordingly acts basis the invoice and remits the account to that particular account, and which happens to be the email hacker's account details. And lot of importers have lost money that way. So when the recipient, the original seller, when they says that they have not received the amount, then they start checking with the bank, and it happens that the account details were different. So there are some good banks which take precautions in this, because in such cases it is very unlikely that the hacker and the seller might be from the same country, though that is also possible, but generally it doesn't happen that way, because some type of scams happen through certain countries. So the first check is to see that there is a mismatch. The banker, from the banker's perspective, or the person who is remitting the funds, if the country of the seller's name, the country of the seller and the country of the beneficiary is not matching, for that we have to check it with the agreement and other contract details. If it does not tally, then it raises a concern, and you can go and ask more questions to the importer. From the importer's perspective, there are some banks who do additional checks. They say that why don't you reconfirm it with the seller. So when the bank advises you in such a way, then don't take it to your heart or take it as a hindrance, or the trying to hold your remittance. Banks or remitting institutions have no such agenda to stop your remittance, because they benefit from your transactions through forex earnings and all. So always when you are doing such a transaction, or it will go to the bank later, but you have done the deal as an importer, and when you have received an invoice and there is a change in invoice, then always pick up the phone and speak to your seller instead of replying back on that same email, because there is a possibility that an email has been hacked. Any time any instructions changed which were mutually decided, agreed upon, and later the instructions suddenly change, and you just get an intimation via a digital form, always pick up the phone and reconfirm with the sender. Then you have two modes of communication to tally. You have the phone call as well as the email. So when you call that person back, that you can be sure that they have only revised the beneficiary bank instructions. But if the seller tells you that they have not done so, then you can save your money then and there. The bank might not be so, or the remitting, there are different modes of now sending payments. So that payment bank or the bank might not be so alert and might not be able to alert you in time, but as an importer, you have to take the additional precaution. And when banks tell you to give something in writing, speak to the seller and reconfirm and take it in writing from the seller. Please go and do that. You will be saving your own money, because it happens in many cases. Importers get adamant saying that you are trying to hold our funds, and then they don't listen to the remitting bank, and then often land in trouble and lose many dollars, because these hackers divert it to their accounts. And and as a banker also, if you are a banker, then you have to do all this due diligence to stop money going into the wrong accounts. So today's topic was this much only. Thanks guys, and beware of frauds, beware of scammers, and सावधान रहिए, सतर्क रहिए. This is your friend, mentor, guide Shagufta signing off. Have a nice day. Thank you.